Good evening, moderators. This is Robert Sacco here, and I'm back with a project. I started working on it. I said I'm going to make a video on it, so I almost forgot, so I apologize. So, just in case you remember, I bought these 2 units to make that unit. I had one already, then some guy really wanted it, so I sold it. So, but I actually had some more materials to make another one. So basically, the only thing you're really going to need to do the project is 2 Atlas units. This is they're both GP40s. You have your CSX Y and 2, and you have your CHESSIE system. As you can see, I already took the CHESSIE system apart. Everything's put aside. And the only thing we need off the CHESSIE shell, according to the pictures, we need to take this big piece off. And here's how I'm going to do it. As you see, I started cutting into the shell already. There are some lines in the shell. I'm trying to get the angle so you can see it. There we go. Right there. You see where I started cutting down here and down here along the lines. Basically, we're following the body line of the shell, and we're going to do a nice clean cut off of it. When we get towards the back right here, towards the edge, all we're going to do is go straight down from there, and we're going to take the whole back half of the shell off. Now what I'm going to do is I'll do this in stages. Actually, after I make each modifications, I'll come back to and show what I've done to it. But for the start, you remove the fan, dynamic fan hatch, because we're going to save that piece still. But we got to remove this. So let me get this cut off, and I'll show what it looks like after I'm done. Be right back. Okay. Now we have our piece off. And that's what that piece looks like right now. So basically now we're going to do is the same thing to this guy. We're going to take the CSX part off of it like we did here. And we're going to glue it back here. Just because you got right here how I cut it off. Basically all I did was follow the body line on the shell. And just go straight down from there. And that's all I did. So now what I'm going to do is once I take this off, we're going to sand this down a little bit. We're going to probably pull the railings off of this unit right here, just the back railings. We're going to take this, put it back on here, and the only thing we're going to do is we'll take the cab off, but we're going to glue the rest of the body in place. We're not going to glue the cab on. We're just going to glue the body so it's all snug fit. So when I put this piece on here, we'll get it all sanded down and we'll glue that in place. So it will not come apart no more like this. The only thing that will come apart is just the cab only. So now I'm getting on that, and I'll be right back, and I'll show you what afterwards what it looks like. Okay, then we have our piece cut off. See it? We file it down on both ends. We file this down. We got this file, the top part of this file down. We got this here because we need this piece to match that. The shell and the main body is all glued together, not in the frame, of course, but it's all one piece now to make it more sturdy. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this piece, we're going to glue it to this shell right here, so this stays apart over here. Put this down a little bit, sorry. We're going to glue this onto this to make this one piece. So this is not so flimsy over here. This will stay kind of sturdy. Then we're going to give this one final cleaning. Then we're going to put a bead of glue on here and on the back over here. And we're going to put everything in place. So we get that from that. So let me get this all glued in place and I'll be right back. And that's where we're at right now. We're all glued in place. Now I'm not no modeler, excuse me, I'm sorry. But I did have one little mistake right here. You see there's a small gap. I got fixed out a piece of styrene and some CSX yellow paint, and that'll be good to go. Or CHESSIE paint. in most cases too, something that small, once I touch that area up a little bit, once I give a light dusting of weathering on it to try to match the filler type as possible, it shouldn't really matter that much. Now, I'll make this part 1 on the CSX chassis build of the GP40. What we're going to do is, now on here is the wreck. You notice there's no tank. This one will retain the tank. I'm going to make this is going to be prototype / fantasy, if you want to put it that way. This will exist on my railroad. This will be like a rebuild, but never painted yet. I will number it to 6532. I will do a little bit more weathering than there now, because it may exist a little longer than what this photo is taken. The weathering job will be a part by itself, because we're going to probably what I'm doing is we're going to mask off the CSX part, and we're going to weather the chassis a little heavier than the CSX shell, because then once we're done with the chassis and clear and seal it, then we're going to mask off the chassis area, and then we're going to do the little bit of the weather in the CSX, which is not very much, kind of like dusting. So that's going to be a challenge itself. Some of you might say, why'd you weather first before putting it together? It's just easier to weather after I'm done, because I can use the weathering to cover up my imperfections. Because like I said, I am not perfect. So now for some of you are wondering, we're going to do with this one right here. We're going to do is we're going to put this one. We are going to put this one back together. We're going to strip the paint off of this one, and we're going to paint this one probably a stealth gray CSX GP40-2, because we're going to match this to the scale of trains GP30 I have coming. So I have 2 actually GP40-2s I got to repaint. It's going to be this one, and the other one I already have undecorating. Both of these will be numbered to match the 2 road slugs I have pre-ordered from Scale Trains, the GP30s. I got 2 of them pre-order. One of them is going to be the stealth gray on both of them, and on the other one, I'm going to do the stealth gray with the yellow nose. Same thing on the Scale Trains. I'm going to yellow nose one of the GP30s. So that'll be another project another video time. But like I said, this right here, part 1 we'll call done. When we come back to part 2, we'll go ahead. We'll fix my imperfections. We're going to change the numbers on it, on the cabs and on the light boards and like that. And maybe we'll do a DCC and sound install on this one too. Then part 3 would be the weathering. So if you have any questions, go ahead and ask me to go ahead, and we'll go from there, guys. Y'all have a very good night, and y'all have a train-tastic night. See ya.